Hello everyone. My camera's frozen. This is fun. It's just what you love to see. There we go. Honest to goodness. So, just before we went live, my router decided to play up. Then, my keyboard decided it wasn't going to be connected to the computer anymore. And then, just as we go live, camera freezes as soon as we start. I am not encouraged by what's going on tonight. That it's going to be a smooth stream. It's hard. Honest to God. Good evening, one and all. Let's just hope. Let's just continue on as normal. And if it gets too much, I'm just going to go and cry in a corner. That's what I'm going to do. Maybe my mouse will break next. Or maybe... I don't know. Maybe my camera will just blow up. Or my phone will blow up. Who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? Good evening, one and all. I hope you are well out there. You just hope for a smooth stream. That's all you can hope for. And then it doesn't happen, and it's really sad. For reference, how big is Ush around the Summer King? Need to build a feast hall around him. He's quite big, but he's not obnoxiously large. I'll grab him for you. You can have a size comparison in a minute. Actually, I don't know where he is. Oh, he's all the way over there. I just have to move something out of the way because you guys aren't allowed to see it. Deal with that later. Good evening, Ivo, Big Bad Peter Gaming, Niall, Mark Reed, Dahi, Mark Watson, Arnold, Captain Mannerings, John Dyer, Conic Melter, Dave Hall. Good evening, good evening. The Mini Creative, Ricardo, the Duck Daddy, Spastic Sloth, wow. Jason Landrip, the Pete McF, Fox, good evening. Were you trying to get Liam to listen to Helldivers earlier? Have you tried Expeditionary Force? Same narrator and is brilliant. No, I was just trying to get him to play it. I think he should play it. I think it's great fun. I almost played it tonight. Happy Valentine's Day to you too, Elecman24. Today it's all about love. Good afternoon, good evening. I'm going to turn the music down a little bit in my headphones because it's a little bit loud. I don't know what it's like for you guys out there, so I'll just turn it up a little bit there. Maybe that'll balance out. You're playing Valheim. Awesome. Love to hear it. I need to open another program. Honestly. Technology, eh? Happy Valentine's to you too, Thanagor. Today, I am all of your Valentines. It is a good job, based on that preview that I moved to what you're not allowed to see. Here we are then. I have a pile of ghouls. And I have a charnel throne that I've started. Oh, come on, Camo. What are you doing to me? Why is there a watermark on there now? Thank you. Don't want a watermark. Dahi, thank you very much for kicking us off today with 5 gifted submarinos. That is very, very kind of you. We had a lot of gifteds run out, so we were riding high at like 800, and now we're on 408. So I must humbly ask if you will ever do a torment video, as I have done all of your other Ashes of Faith. The Duck Daddy. I will be doing a torment video. So here's the thing. I've got a minimum of 1 more model I need to do this month. I can't tell you what it is. But once it's built and once it's done, I'll be able to do whatever I damn well please. And when I can do whatever I damn well please, whilst I want to paint ghouls, what I will do is I will get on with trying to get the Torments video done. Now, it'll be a long one, because it's going to take ages, because it's 3 completely different models that are all basically hero scale. But we're going to get it done. Thanagor, thank you very much for the 5 gifted memberships. That is very, very kind of you. See, we're already on the road to recovery. That is very kind of you. Thank you very much. There were a lot of gifted members last month. It's kind of nuts. It was. There's also a lot of donations for the camera fund. As you can see, we're already, what, £616 away. So yes, I started work on this afternoon after I finished another thing you guys aren't allowed to see. So I started this. I'm going to be matching it up with Usharan, basically, with his base. So I've done the Targor Raid Shade. The next step is to do the Agrax Earthshade. But I'm filming this for a tutorial, so we can't paint this tonight. However, what we do have here are 20 of the finest of the ghouls, including a Cryptghast Courtier. Not that you would ever use him as one of those, because they're rubbish now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 10 of these to one side, and tonight we're going to make a start on 10 of these ghouls, because this is what I really want to do. 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. So this should be 2, 4, 6, 8 and 10. Okay, so what I was thinking was about doing basically a pile of different color schemes for these. I did not get some good me time on Monday, Captain Mannerings. I was feeling horrible. I was feeling really rotten on Monday. And I was like, I was awake and I was like, I've got to do my stream this afternoon. I've got some models I need to finish. I've got a base I need to finish. And then I'm going to do my stream. And then I got up. This is the thing. Is I got up. I literally sat up. And just my stomach just went, no, not today. I was just in pain. I was in horrible pain for ages. And I was trying to get up and move about, but I couldn't. And briefly for a minute, I thought I had appendicitis, because I'm really worried about that happening. But it wasn't, because the pain moved down to the left side rather than out to the right. If it's appendicitis, it happens on the right hand side. If it's other stuff, it happens down on the left. So it all moved down to the left. So I was like, okay, this is a repeat of what happened to me when I was about 25. FYI, you can kit bash the Crypt Guard swords with the older ghouls without much issue, but halberd would be a pain. That's really good to hear, Niall. That's very good to hear. Hello, James. Good evening, Mato or Tomato. Thanks for the suggestion from last stream. Been painting my Stormcast Annihilators. They're a pretty nice palette cleanser so far, but I had to redo some of the priming, which added some extra time. Oh yeah, I remember last you were asking for some inspiration. There you go. I'm glad I could help. Did you get the plops of corn on Monday? A little bit, yeah. So I can tell you the story. When I was about 25. No, I must have been younger. When I was about 21, 22. No. What year was it? Yeah, about 2014, 2015. Sometime around then. 2014 to 2015. That sort of time. So I was 24, 25. I basically started just having bad stomach pains all the time. Really bad stomach pains. So I went to the doctor because, you know, for a day it's fine, but for like 2-3 months it was awful. So I was like, I'm gonna do I was looking. I had this really horrible pain, and so I went to the doctor, and they were like, "Right, well, we're gonna take some blood, and we're gonna have a quick look with one of these." And I was like, "All right." So they took some blood. They did the test. The doctor had a check, and he said, "Oh, Big Bad Peter Gaming, thank you very much for the 5 gifted memberships. That is incredibly kind of you. Thank you." Bombardment. Thank you. See, like I said, already on the road to recovery. Yeah. So, doctor had a look, and he was concerned. And then I went and had my blood test, and I didn't hear anything for 2 weeks. My blood test then came back, and I got an urgent phone call saying, "You need to come in." Why? Your white blood cell count is really high. You need to come in. We need to have a talk. So I went and had a talk, and they said, "Right, we're concerned that it's the big one." I was like, "Okay." So that's fun when you're that age. So they sent me for a more in-depth camera. So I went, and results inconclusive. So I was sent for another of the exact same procedure, and at that point I said, "No, we're not doing that." That's the one, Thanagor. Yeah, that is the one. And I was told that at 24, and then I lived for about 6 to 8 months with no clue, because nobody knew. Because I was being referred to all these different units. So I was being referred to the unit you're talking about, Thanagor, to the specialist there, where they wanted to do stuff with cameras. And I was being referred to other ones where they wanted to do stuff with cameras. And I was like, someone needs to pick a lane here. Eventually, after I complained, I submitted a complaint to George's. And they were like, "Okay, yeah, no, we can see how this has been an upsetting time for you." I was like, "You think?" So they sat me down, and they went, "Okay, we're gonna go through everything, and then we're gonna collate everything, and then we're gonna come up with a single point of treatment or a pathway that we can go down." Essentially, I'm fine. Obviously, because I'm 33. And everything was okay. Yeah, it was just a case of keep food diaries, figure out what the hell's wrong with you, and then, well, we'll see if you've got something like I don't know, like something like Crohn's, or if you've got a lactose intolerance, or you're allergic to something. Basically, we still don't know. We still won't ever know what it is I'm intolerant to, but there's something that I have a deep intolerance to. And essentially, one of the things that I I know that I can't eat is there's a particular preservatives, don't know which one, but there's a particular preservative that gets used by certain companies, or it's an E number, or it's an additive, or it's something that my body rejects. No idea what it is though, and it's impossible to clear to narrow it down. So it's basically a case of if I eat something and I feel horrible the next day, just don't have it again. Do you see what I mean? Because it's one of these kind of nebulous, like, additive 2734 or whatever it is, you know, something like that, or it's a food coloring or something like that. All I know is one of the biggest problems for me at the time was I used to work at Sky, and at Sky all of their stuff was supplied by a company called, all of the canteen's food was supplied by a company called Gather and Gather, and I could not eat anything that Gather and Gather supplied because it was all awful. So I'm quite in touch with how my stomach feels because, you know, that time when they said, we think it might be this, being CANCER, it was terrifying. But as I would say at the time, you know, even if it turns out that it's not, living with all of that uncertainty, it means that if I ever do get that diagnosis, at least I know how I'll cope. That is to say, not well. Anyway, we are here. Dragnum007, what are the max benefits of supporting you on Patreon? I'm looking to support you. The max benefit, it's a £50 a month one. And if you do that, you can get one-to-one coaching with me on a however much you want, one a month, or just one, or, you know, whatever. But you also get a miniature painted by myself. 40mm base, or I think there's a monetary limit. It's whichever one comes up first. That's the max benefit. You also get the other benefits like the Discord and stuff like that, and also early access to videos and stuff like that, as and when I have them for early access. Why can't you say the word? I don't know if I'll get demonetized for saying it, Podger. I'm not sure. I also don't like saying it because it was a very dark time for Josh. I had my gallbladder removed a couple of weeks ago. I had a 3-centimeter stone in it that would from time to time give me an evening of intense pain. Oof. Yamel Angmar, I'm very sorry that happened. That's awful. Sometimes having a bad diagnosis is better than we don't know. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I've had quite a number of times where I've gone to the doctors and they've said, we don't know. Which is always fun for Josh. Anyway, we've got ghouls. Look at these lovely ghouls. So, we've done quite a lot of ghoul painting, and I will do a video on how I want to do these. But what I'm thinking of doing is just doing like a number of different evil crab. Fair enough. Glad you got through that. Yeah, it was a trying time in Warhipster history. That was before I'd even become said Warhipster. It was before I was born in this version that you see here. That's reason enough to open up a beer. To your good health. Thank you very much, Mini Painting Dad. And Evening All was already missing Me Time Monday. Thank you very much for being a member for 6 months. And then you've gone ahead and you've donated €20. Thank you very much, Mini Painting Dad. You're an absolute boss and a legend and a scholar amongst men. You put us over. I'm just gonna put that to 900. That's what I'm gonna do. check us out. Check you out. Oh, it's very kind of you. Are they going to be pink? Hi, by the way. No, probably not pink. What I really am enjoying is doing lots of different colour schemes for these. And in fact, it was you who asked me last time out, does it work having them all be different colours? Well, we're going to do that tonight. We're going to paint 5 of them completely different colours. And the first one is going to be Griff Charger Grey. Because it's a cool colour and I like it. And I'm just going to apply this over the top of all of my Ghoul. And I'm just kind of trying to see if he's wearing anything, and it doesn't look like he is. He looks like he's completely nude, which is interesting. You can see his little bum. Look at that. Now, Griff Charger Grey. Oh, they've all been primed in White Scar, I should say. And I think for the video, I've got 8 that I want to do, but I might do some that are a little bit more human. But I will repeat the ones that I do tonight, so in case you like one in particular and you want to see it again, we will be doing it. This is all I've wanted to do all week, is paint some Flesh Eater Courts. And I haven't had the opportunity. Like Monday I was going to do this. I was going to paint Flesh Eater Courts with you all. But I didn't get the chance to because I was ill. And then I thought about doing it yesterday, but then like I had other stuff that I needed to get done. So I didn't end up doing it yesterday. So like, and then I had to finish said things today. You know why I think I've been so into Flesh Eater Courts is because I have been using a lot of Griff Charger Grey. And I think, like, it's one of my favourite colours. One, just both to use, and also just in terms of the way it looks. I think it's an absolutely breathtaking colour. And I don't know why. It's just like, you know, it's just a grey, really, at the end of the day. But it just goes on so easily, I always find. I think it's one of the best contrast colours that they make. There we go. Number 1. 75 watching and only 34 likes. Come on, peeps. That is correct, James. That is correct. Yeah. So at the 50 pounds level, so it's a little bit more in US dollars. You can have a one-to-one coaching session with me, and you also get a model painted by me up to a certain size, 40mm. I think it's 40mm base, or it's like £35. I can't remember which. I think it is stipulated as to both. Good evening, Lord Commander Joe. There's 2 Niles. Quick question about Citadel primers. I noticed that there's a version of Gracia for contrast and one for others. Same with Wraithbone. Is there actually a difference? I didn't think that there was a specific contrast one for each. I think it's just £30. There you go, Alec, man. Of course, the whole thing is like, if somebody said to me, look, I'm gonna subscribe to the £50 level, and I'm gonna subscribe for like 3 to 4 months. Could you do a slightly bigger miniature? Then yeah, absolutely could. You're very welcome, Philip. Josh, that is way, way too little. You need to be charging so much more for your time. You're not the first person to tell me that, honestly. I could get much better at charging my time. Okay, so there's our Griff Charger Grey. What's the next video? The next video is Sakar, the Fang of New Lamia. And then after that, you're not wrong, Kataro. After Sakar, the Fang of New Lamia, it's the Abhorrent Cardinal. And then after that, for those of you who are fans of the Seraphon, we have the Astrolith Bearer. That's what's coming, eh? Oh, thanks, Alec, man. I should change that up then. I should specify that. So this is coming next week. The Saurus Astrolith Bearer. This is for one of the Patreons who subscribed at the £50 mark. Right. Good evening, Marley. The next one I wanted to do was Athonian Camo Shade. So this one is Athonian Camo Shade. And again, I love this for Ghouls. Because it's gross. See how it's just like... It's very, very close to that kind of dirty green that they do on the box art for like the Crypt Horrors. It's not quite there, because they've got a little bit more of an element of grey in theirs. I will just say to anybody who's considering the top tier, if you do go for it, I would be very, 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 very appreciative if you picked a model that I hadn't already filmed. But you know, of course, that doesn't always matter. But if it's a model we don't have a tutorial on, that's great for me, because then it means I can film it. And then it also means that you also get a reference for other things in that army as well. So, like, for example, if you asked for, I don't know, well, okay, let's say like a blister skin abhorrent arch regent, then I can film that. But of course, if you're just like, nah, man, I just really want a Mephiston, then I can get one and I can paint it. Do you know what I mean? There you go. What do you think? It's a really nice colour, isn't it? Yeah, that would be a great example, Alec, man. Do you contact us after we sub on Patreon? Easier if you just contact me and just tell me what you want. Either send me a message on Discord or send a message to me on Patreon. What if I'm not in the UK? Is that okay? Yeah, absolutely, it's okay. Big Bad Peter Gaming, thank you very much for the 5. Trying to figure out a way to paint my Tree Man Ancient to look more terrifying. Any suggestions? Bombardment! Oh, that's a very good question. What kind of horror are you going for? Is the question. Because I think, like, sometimes where you get the most atmosphere from Sylvaneth is by having really contrasting colours, right? So, like, kind of more of that sort of, like, Eldritch Fey horror. If you go for like a Briar Queen chill on any of like the spirity stuff, opposite like a black wood, it can look like that can be a little unsettling. Another thing is to go for like really sharp highlights on like the claws and stuff, or to pick like an element, so like water or fire or whatever, and have that as a reference point within the scheme somewhere. Dry brushes go a long way to making them look creepier rather than line highlights. Line highlights tend to make them look clean, but dry brushes generally tend to kind of be a little bit more craggy, a little bit more scraggly. So they really tend to bring it out. I have not, Niall, no. I'm in need of some advice. I'm currently painting some Raptors Space Marines. They have like an olive green / military green tint, but what type of cloak pairs well with a green armor? Black generally tends to go really well. And you've retracted your message. Sorry, Thanagal. Um, cool. So we've done that one and that one. So the next one is Agrax. Where are you? You're up here. Agrax Earthshade. How can I brighten up Blood Angel's red contrast on my BA successors? If you want to brighten it up, you can go for a glaze of Evil Sun's Scarlet. That will add some serious punch to your Blood Angel's red. The easiest way I found is if you go for like 5 parts, either medium or water, you can create a really nice little thin little glaze that you can use to just kind of add a little bit more impact to that red. You can also mix it. I think I've done that in the past. I think I did that on a Dreadnought, maybe. So my idea here is we create essentially 10 lots of ghoul, well, 10 ghouls, where you have like a root color and a paler version of it. So this is the Agrax Earthshade version. There we go. Looking good. Any advice for painting a Balrog, demon of the ancient world? Is it metal or is it fine cast? I've got a follow-up question from the last stream, but TLDR, when you said painting blue contrast over bone primer for bone rippers would make it into a murky blue, that was kind of intriguing. It made me interested in what kind of bone colours would pair well with a Dark Knight Lordsy blue armour for bone reapers. That's a tricky one. I've obviously not experimented with the colour as much as that, so I couldn't give you a definitive answer. You would probably just have to experiment. I don't know how well blue pairs with yellow, to be honest. Especially when you put blue over the top of yellow. They do indeed, Jacob. Good evening, Dewey. It's a plastic Balrog. Well, I guess just have fun with it. I've not built a Balrog. So there's our Agrax Earthshade Ghoul. And there's our Athonian Camo Shade Ghoul. And there's our Griff Charger Grey Ghoul. So this one, I want to do like a white Ghoul. So we're going to go with Soul Blight Grey on this one. Any teasers for Sakar? I mean, the video's out tomorrow. But Soul Blight Grey was used for the skin. Rune Lord Brass was used, as was Agaros Dunes for the armor. It's been a while now. Sigval Burgundy was used for like the inside of the cape, as was Black Legion. I'd have to get the model and have a look at it to remind myself. I didn't do a good job of cleaning that hand at all. Oh well, it's only a ghoul. There we go. I'm painting more gaunt fleshy to court. Do you have any advice on what colour to paint the wrap on the legs of the crypt guard? I can't remember what I did on mine. Let me go and have a look. 50 likes on the stream. You guys are kick-ass. Thank you so much. I did them Black Templar. The Phobos Librarian is probably the best Phobos model. Somebody was asking earlier what the size of Usharan was. One of the easiest comparisons is that. So here's Usharan, and there is the Gore Warden. As you can see, they're roughly the same height. However, he occupies a much bigger space. So that's how big he is in comparison to the Gore Warden. In comparison to the Charnel Throne, he's that big. A traditional size comparison would be to do Usharan and a Space Marine. There you go. Roughly about that size. There you go, Niall. If you want it in comparison to other big things, here is a Great Unclean One. Here is Usharan. So he's a little shorter and there's a lot slimmer than the Great Unclean One. Here is Angron and Usharan. As an example. Who else can we do from this pile? Here is Scarbrand and Usharan. Yeah, hope that works. I was referring to enjoy some Bone Reaper Legions don't do standard bone colours. The Petrifex Elite do a dark grey bone because they're petrified, and Null Myriad have black bones. I'm not saying I'd use bone coloured primer to start. I'm just saying that your explanation of how contrast interacts with blue as an example inspired me to see how blue armour would look. I hope that made it clearer. Are you asking for colours of bone to go with blue armour? Because there's, you know, you can go for brown with Rattling Grime. You could go for Null Oil to get a sort of whiter bone. You could go for Skeleton Horde. You could go for Seraphim Sepia. You could go for Agrax Earthshade. You could go for Agaros Dunes. You could go for Snakebite Leather. There's lots of different colours of bone you could do. As an example, on this version of Xantos Ossiarch Bone Reapers, there's the blue And then there's the Null Oil, or is it Null Oil? No, that's Targor Raid Shade over the top of white Grey Seer. And then that there is Rattling Grime over the top of Grey Seer, dry brushed with Karak Stone, followed by a little bit of Screaming Skull, as an example. There's loads you could do. I think Ossiarch Bone Reapers generally are quite cold, so actually priming them with Wraithbone, it makes them a little bit too warm. So, because they're cold and unforgiving and they're very dead, the instinct, of course, because they are mostly covered in bone, is to prime them with Wraithbone. I don't think that's right. I think Grey Seer or White Scar is a better choice because you get more options out of that. I am feeling better, thank you, Laura Brand, and also good evening. Now to build a broken feast hall for him. There you go, Niall. Right, shall we should go for a Gilliman Flesh. On our 5th Ghoul. Because you see, the thing about Wraithbone is a lovely, lovely primer. But what it does is it adds warmth to the tone. So, when you then add something like, Null Oil over the top of Wraithbone, what you get is grey over a warm colour. Whereas when you add Null Oil over the top of Grey Seer or White Scar, what you get is, well, basically shaded white. You don't get shaded white if you put Null Oil over the top of Wraithbone, and you don't get white if you put Apothecary White over Wraithbone. Which is why if you're doing something like White Scars, I've had this question before, could I prime my White Scars in Wraithbone? Is it no? No, because you won't be, you'll have to do a lot more work in the layering phase to actually make them look white, because what you'll have is you'll have a greyish off yellow. we go. It's actually quite unsettling. In being a flesh colour. How is the month of death going? I love, how is the month of death going? I just made up my Valentine's Lego roses. Two juxtaposing things. It's going alright. Month of death is going fine. We've done a lot of death. I have had to spend the last couple of days doing non-death things for something that's coming out in a couple of weeks. Guys, we are 7 likes away from the magic number. Build three Forge World Custodian journals. I can now say that I've worked with Forge World Resident and can iterate how awful the experience was. Never again. Oh, I'm with you there, Stephen. I don't like it one bit. Unfortunately, it has to be done occasionally. I have some more I need to do, actually. Some Lord of the Rings resin. Hey, Lacuva. So here we have our 1. Would you be willing to paint Lotan from IDK? I didn't see a video on it. As in Lotan of the ledgers. Yeah, you're not wrong there, Mini Painting Dad. So actually one of the unifying factors of ghouls are their bones and also their hair. Yeah, cool. Yeah, we could absolutely do Lotan. Forge World Legend is child's play when compared to Finecast. No, you're not wrong. Finecast, yuck. Right, next up we have everyone's favourite, Nighthaunt Gloom. So here's Nighthaunt Gloom. We'll start on this leg here. This is a fun music track. This would be quite a fun way to test out new colours, wouldn't it, from new paint ranges? It'd be a complete waste of ghouls, but it could work. Here we go. Good night, mini painting dad. I was planning to paint some CSM Possessed soon. Any tips for their skin? My thought was darker the flesh over grey cere, but I don't know. Yeah, no, that would work. You could then use things like Caribou Crimson or Berserker Bloodshade to add like some like swelling or bruising, or even Magos Purple. That would also work. Not for the whole thing, but just for like the kind of near the mutations and stuff like that. Hey, you guys have gone past the magic number of 69 likes. Nice. Now here's the big question. Can we go from 418 members to 469 members? That's 51. What are you currently working on, Josh? I'm working on just the ghouls. I'm just getting some skin recipes down. So we've got Agrax Earthshade here. We've got Athonian Camo Shade. Just there. We've done Gilliman Flesh. Just there. We've done Soulblight Grey. Just there. We've done Griff Charger Grey. And we've literally just done Nighthaunt Gloom. Boom. I have to hop off for tonight. Happy Valentine's to everyone. Until next time. Happy Valentine's to you too, Thanagor. Thank you for hanging out. Love you. So there's Griff Charger. There's Nighthaunt Gloom. There's Soulblight Grey. Agrax. Athonian. And Gilliman. Hoping for some Coelia Greenshade. I could do a Coelia Greenshade one, actually. That's a really good idea. Let's do it. Coelia Greenshade. We could also do a Targor Raid Shade one as well. You're having mixed skin tones in the squad. I am indeed. And Cameron has gifted 5 of the Warhipster memberships. Like a boss. Thank you, Cameron. I shall update the number in but a moment. He really doesn't look well, does he? Bosh. That looks really nice. I need to update this. Ba ba ba. $423. Yes, I will do Crackstar. Callous and Toll. Do you have a favourite Stormcast character? I really can't wait for that new set that was revealed at LVO to come out. Yeah, no, I'm the same. I really, really like it. I'm a big fan... Oh, close your paints, Josh. I'm a big fan of the Black Talons. The Targal Raid Shade one is for me. No. Targal Raid Shade is a good shout. I can tell you why. Because Targal Raid Shade is the shade colour on the Soul Black Grey one. So, this guy here, you see him? The thing to do with this is to take some Targal Raid Shade without a bit of dust attached to the end of the brush. So take a bit of Targal Raid Shade and apply it around the eyes, around the nose, like that. Add a little bit around the face, and then to use it over the top of things like boils and scars. And then also, if you've got any kind of like bones sticking through, things like this, like that. Got some scars on the head as well. Like that. See? So, doing a one that is fully with Targal Raid Shade makes sense. I can look at doing it this month, Gordon. Let's start down here on the foot. Like I said, I've got one more model I have to do. That I can't tell you what it is. And then after that, my time is my own. There's some older commission bits as well that I need to get done. But that's not for here and now. So the other thing I need to do this month is I keep talking about it on this live stream. I need to get like several things put up on the raffles on the raffle website. Isn't it just such an upsettingly nice colour, Targor Raidshade? Do you think Berserker Bloodshade would work? Berserker Bloodshade can work, yes. It's quite red, though. Do you automatically win tails if I submit Krondis, Guard of Steel Soul, and a Blood Angel all in the same month? Yes, you absolutely do. It's my favourite shade too, Jurassic, honestly. It's the best. It's the best one that came out of the new range. The rest of them were kind of just real designs, mostly. Like Tyrann Blue and Soul Black Grey are very nice. But like, Poxwalk is also really good. Croak Green too. But Targor Raidshade, it's just like, it's halfway between Nuln and Agrax. And it's like, with a little hint of a tiny little bit of red in there, which is just like, ah, lovely. Hey, David. My day is going very well. I hope your day is going well. Look at that. We've got 82 likes on the stream. Can we pick up 18 more to take us to a big 100? Also, 46 more members. And do you know what I'm going to do? I am going to try and snipe some of you. Because I'm allowed to do that once a month.
I chose Wix.
I'm allowed to do this. I'm allowed to gift 5 memberships to myself. For some reason. So there you go. Jason Harris, Jesse Joyner, Minimum Army Studio, Ben McKenzie, and S. have a membership. Which then means I can change this number to 428. Which is fun for Josh. And Captain Mannerings with the 1. Thank you very much, sir. There's 429. So now... Oh, you're very welcome, Crackstar. Has that subscriber number gone up? It has, hasn't it? I'm blaming this channel's Gardas tutorial for being the reason I now have 5k of the knights. This is my fault. I can only apologise, Marley. But also, that's fucking cool. I just swore. I don't do that normally. Whoops. Oh, Captain Mannerings, you don't have to worry. Thank you very much for the 1. That's very, very, very kind of you anyway. I never expect anyone to give anything. And I'm always very humbled by anyone who gives anything. So thank you very much. Look, guys, I'm sorry I swore about the Hallowed Knights. They just make me very happy. They're so cool. Only the faithful. Who shall own Hallowed Knights? Only the faithful. Okay. Another one to do. Where are you? Ah, no, you're down here. If you wanted to move into a house in Nottingham, go on. So this is Reichland Flesh Shade. And I'm going to put one... Where have I got a space? Here. 1. And 2. One. And 2. To create a lovely thin Reichland Flesh Shade. I've got enough here. Yeah, just about. Did I get it all? Looks like it. Oh no, I missed a little bit here on the back. There we go. I have not seen the TT Combat Halfling Knights, but they sound amazing. The other one that feels fairly obvious. Painting bolt action British commandos, and I don't like the English uniform colour. This is new for me, painting a colour I don't like. Any colour scheme you don't like? Oh, I don't know necessarily that there's a colour scheme I don't like, but there are like aspects of models I don't like painting. An example of that is basically any metallics. This is Agrax Earthshade, by the way. I'm going to do 3 of it this time, just to get us through that. No, I haven't seen a trailer for a Warhammer 40k game coming out in September. What do you mean? Is it a Astartes by any chance? Yeah, there's aspects of models I don't like painting, like I don't like painting Space Marine backpacks. I don't like painting metallic trim. I don't like painting engine blocks either. What else don't I like painting? I tell you one thing I used to really hate doing. I used to really hate painting black details over the top of non-black primers. I hated it so much. I don't think Abaddon Black is as good a paint as a lot of people think it is. I thought Corvus Black was a lot better. But oh man, did I used to hate it. So like when I first did my Custodes, I didn't like painting in the halberds, for example, with Abaddon Black. Now I love it because I get to use Black Legion for that type of thing. And it just goes by in the blink of an eye. There you go. Oh, Space Marine 2. Yes, no. I am very, very excited for Space Marine 2. I will be playing Space Marine 2 on the channel. You have my word of that. There you go. That is 10. What is it about their backpacks you hate? I don't know. I honestly don't know, Alec, man. It is just one of those things where I'm just like, oh, I've got to do the backpacks now. And I've always hated it. What do you think? No, I use Abaddon Black for the base rims. For me, that's all that paint is good for. Yeah, so I will be playing. I will be playing Space Marine 2 on the channel because we did Space Marine 1 many moons ago. It was the first. I think it was amongst the first streams that I did. So this is Black Legion now, and it feels like doing Space Marine 2 is almost a given. And I know it won't be popular because it never is. Whenever I do a video game stream, because YouTube is just like, nope, people don't want to see this. They want to see you paint miniatures, you miniature painter, you. Which is sad, because I would love to. I'd love to be able to game more with you guys and for you guys, and entertain you with some gaming. But if I do it, YouTube just gets really funny about it. Which is really annoying. And, you know, I could start a second channel like Liam has done, but I honestly don't know how he does it because I can barely deal with the anxiety that one channel gives me, let alone having two. It's just a lot to manage a YouTube channel. Government assigned miniature painter. Exactly. I tell you what the issue was when I started streaming for the first when I first started streaming on YouTube. Like I said, I started out by I think the very first couple of streams were Space Marine. the original Space Marine. And I was like, if I just stream video games, that'll be fine. And then I think I did a hobby hangout, and YouTube was like, "Hey, this guy's staying on task." And I was like, "God damn it," you know. Like, I would love to stream some Helldivers 2 for you. Mostly because that would also make my brain very happy. Because Helldivers 2 is a lot of fun. I think you guys would enjoy seeing it, but YouTube would disagree. I don't think enough people have shown off what it's like to fight the automatons on Helldivers 2, because that is not Starship Troopers. That right there is straight out of Terminator. Tell me on 10:15. I need a little break. A lot of your early streams were on Instagram. Yeah, no, I did do a fair bit on Instagram. I struggle with Instagram these days because it's a completely different platform to the one I first kind of started using. When I first started using Instagram for Warhammer, obviously TikTok hadn't busted the scene apart yet. So it was just you'd share a picture of your models, people would like it or they wouldn't, and they'd move on with your life. But then Reels became a thing because of TikTok, and they're desperately trying to keep their place in the market, Instagram. And so, you know, the focus is on making Reels, and that in and of itself is a whole other job. So taking a photo of a miniature, if you want to grow an account and a presence on Instagram, you have to do it with Reels and videos. And the only way to do it is to make Reels and videos that are engaging with the audience. You can't just film any old thing. So you have to use things like trending audios and stuff like that. It's really like... I could do it, but it's a whole heap of work, and I can't be bothered. It's just easier to focus on YouTube. And I feel bad because I should care about. I should put more effort into Instagram. You know. So where this whole thing really started. I started an Instagram. I shared pictures of stuff, and then when Contrast came out, I shared up pictures of stuff being painted in Contrast paint, and everyone went, "Oh my god, how did you do that?" Lo and behold, Warhipster channel gets made. Here's how I did it. So, you know, it's like, it's one of those things of, it's where it's everything. You know, people change, focuses change, tastes change. And I know, like, everyone is always trying to sell you something all of the time. You know, I've done some promotional sponsor work. Of course, I have. It's how I keep the lights on. Because ad revenue on YouTube is great, but you know, the money for doing things like upgrading gear and stuff either depends on a viral video, and thus your YouTube channel blows up, or sponsorships, or memberships, super chats, Patreon, stuff like that. That's where you can actually make a decent living. And then as a content creator, you have a lot of questions you have to ask yourself of how monetarily, how focused are you on making money? And from my perspective, the money that I make gets put back into making content and into growing the channel. And obviously a sizable chunk of that is paying the rent, because that's where the studio is, i.e. our upstairs bedroom. You know, so once all that's taken care of, then what's left at the end of the month, that's spent on materials like extra paints and extra models, things like that, glues and tools and primers and all that kind of stuff. And then after all of that, once the bare necessities are done, it's what's left, and then whatever's left gets put into savings or gets put into the channel fund, which then becomes money for future purchases for videos, or it comes for things like buying microphones, cameras, stuff like that. Because realistically, the channel is, I'm the one who makes the videos, and I'm the one who uploads them, and this, that, and the other. But the channel's for you. The channel, the videos are not for me. They are for all of you out there. So to help you on your Warhammer journey, that's the most important thing, you see. At least that's the methodology. That's the idea here. It's not really about me per se. I mean, the streams are a little bit about me. How would you recommend basing a spooky graveyard? I think you want greys for spooky graveyards. Astro Granite is really good for that. And then you could shade it with like either a bluey shade, like Drakenhof Nightshade. That would give it quite a spooky feel. You could also use some purple, like Druchii Violet or Magos Purple, to add a hint of Shaishan Amethyst, I think is what they call it. I've enjoyed this playlist tonight. This is the country playlist on Epidemic Sound. We are 3 likes away, ladies and gentlemen. 3 from the big 100. Can we get there? Two likes away now. That would be lovely. I've actually found a nice little community on Insta. A lot of the women share each other's work. There's a lot of encouragement. Yes, there is. And that's wonderful. That is a wonderful aspect of it. And that's kind of where I've moved to. I'll share pictures of stuff that I'm going to be releasing in the week, or I'll release a reel or something, just so people are aware of the videos that are coming. But otherwise, I've kind of moved more into I prefer to consume rather than produce for that platform. And just, you know, occasionally talk to and meet new people as well on there. That's always quite nice. Although, because I have a stupid like content creators like sort of business account almost, I barely get push notifications for Instagram, so I have to remember to check it. And when you're as busy as I am, sometimes you just don't see it. Because it keeps introducing, the other thing they do as well is they keep introducing new tools to help you filter things. And I'm like, I don't want to filter things. It's not that bad. The only things I would like you to stop is people who message me saying, hey, click on this link, we'll give you money. And it's not. The link is a virus which will let somebody into my Instagram account so they can then sell crypto through my account. That's how it works. Because for whatever reason, 30,000 followers on it is deemed a valuable account. It's like, it's not that valuable, to be honest, but all that would do is it would hurt my community. Because someone, and a great degree of people, I suspect on there, trust me. So if they see me put out a link, say, hey, click on this, you could make $1,500 a day. If you're susceptible to that kind of messaging from people that you trust, all that's going to happen is you end up hurting people. So when it comes to message requests, my message requests on Instagram is just full of that. It's constantly, hey, click on this link. 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 Over and over and over and over again. And when I get them from people that I know, I always message back, say, you've been hacked. And they always go back, no, I haven't. It's like, yes, you have. And they go, how do you know? I was like, because you don't sell crypto. And then like a couple of weeks later, that person will be like, I've got my account back. Thanks to everybody who tried to notify me other way. Unfortunately, my social media of choice was Twitter, until the world's most divorced man took over. Haven't really bothered spending the time getting to know another one. Yeah, I think I never got into Twitter, which is why I find it so hard to care about it. We had a Twitter for a while. There was a Warhipster Twitter, but I just closed it when the world's most divorced man took over, because I was like, I'm not. The platform doesn't need my patronage, and we're just not using it. Exactly, Laura. It wouldn't surprise me if Louise clicked on a link from somebody that she trusted who had also been hacked by someone that they trusted. Why do people hate Twitter now that they aren't being censored? Also, hello Josh. Hello Athron. The reason being, from my perspective, is there are some opinions that I just don't want to read. So one of the easiest things to do is to just not be present. Do you see what I mean? So it's like, if someone's spilling extreme conspiracy theories, I'm just like, I don't want to read this. And like, I shouldn't have to. It's not up to me, right? To, it's not up to me to make the platform fit me. I don't have to fit myself into a product, right? So it's like if like what's the so you know, like when somebody says, oh, you should get this thing, I mean, it only works when you do it this way and you use it that way and you use it with this, but otherwise it's really great. It's like you're forcing yourself to love that thing by finding a way to make it work when you didn't have to do any of that work in the first place. Do you see what I mean? So for me with Twitter, I fundamentally don't care about the platform, and also I'm not even remotely interesting enough to maintain a presence on Twitter. My day is boring. I am a boring person. I am not interesting, so I have nothing to share. And also, most of my thoughts, they're for me. I just keep them to myself, and I don't need to put them on the internet anywhere. So for me, it's a pointless platform anyway. But so, like, what else would I use it for? Getting annoyed? And I just choose not to be annoyed. So that's why I'm just like, meh. So it's like whenever, if I'm subscribed to someone on YouTube or Instagram and they start talking about something that I'm just like, oh, I don't want to hear this, I just hit the mute button, just walk away. Because it's much easier to do that than it is to get mad. And I think if more people do that, it would be a better world. Quite frankly. It's like the really nice man or woman, or they, whoever you are out there, who dislikes every single one of my videos. I wish you'd just unsubscribe. Because it would be better for you. That one person out there who dutifully, every time a video goes up, dislikes it. You know, I respect the commitment. But it would just be easier for you if you just unsubscribe. Because I'm not stopping. I'm going to keep uploading videos for the rest of my life until I get bored. Or, you know, hospitalized for a long period of time. Or I retire. Or I sell the channel to someone else. And maybe I'll sell it to someone that, you know, you like. So, you know, you end up hitting that button. So maybe that's what you're holding out for. But the way I see it is that's not going to happen for at least 10 to 15 years. Unless tabletop wargaming, like, just falls in a hole. In which case, then, you know, we're going to try video game streaming. But if that then fell in a hole right afterwards, I have literally no other talents. Other than maybe talking down the microphone at you guys for a little bit. Is it you, Chewy? Are you the one? Are you the one? Every video that goes up, you go, oh, he's done it! Dislike. Every interaction's good interaction. But what about my mental health? Look, Rogue One, best film ever at Warhipster. Listen, Captain Manrings. You can have your opinion on Rogue One. I can have my opinion on Rogue One. I believe Rogue One has one of the best scenes in Star Wars of all time. doesn't mean I have to sit through the other 78 minutes of the runtime of the film. I can watch that one clip and I can go, yeah, it's a great clip. What if it's Peachy and he's actually really mean? That would be a turn up, wouldn't it? That would be a real kind of breakneck turn that I don't think anyone would expect. It turns out all along that the troll on the internet was Peachy. No, that would be something. I feel like he'd have to have like a, you know, like a Batman reveal day. It'd have to be like it's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me. YouTube, Peachy's version. A Peachy heel turn would be a good twist. Yeah? What if he brings a steel chair down on YouTube? That'd be something. It would be incredible. But a bigger brain conspiracy for you. What if it's actually Henry Cavill? What if he's the one that does it? What if he's the one that dislikes every YouTube video of mine? Because he tried contrast once and he got really mad. So now he secretly just hates me. No worries, Colonel. If duty called, then duty comes first. Duty before dishonor. When you said Zeech's avatar for a minute there, Alec, man, I thought you were about to come out with everything changed the day Peachy attacked. I thought we were going for The Last Airbender. The Last Community Painter. Peachy. And that's more wishful thinking, Josh. Imagine how your channel would blow up if word got out. Oh, I don't know. I don't know with this community. If it got out that someone like Mr. Cavill or PG or Duncan or Louise, if it got out that they actually really hated someone, I think they're Cavill notwithstanding, I think those three, they're of an ilk where if they decided that they really hated someone, they have that power to get that person cancelled. Colonel, man, that's a huge compliment. But I am no Superman. I'm more Jimmy Olsen, let's face it. Maybe Niall. Maybe that's what the Warhammer TV show that he's writing actually is. It's not actually Warhammer. It's a sitcom about people who like Warhammer. Wouldn't that be meta? Now that's the show I would love to see. A group of 6 young professionals, unlikely young professionals. You see where I'm going with this? Because Alice and I have been watching New Girl again recently for a little bit of light-hearted entertainment in the evenings. And I turned to her the other day and I went, 6 is generally the sweet spot for the main character cast of an American sitcom. She was like, yeah, I think so. I was like, yeah, if you think about it, because New Girl's pretty good. Friends, that was 6. And How I Met Your Mother, that was 6 as well. As the kind of like main character. Was How I Met Your Mother 5? Ted, Barney, Robin, Lily, Marshall. Yeah, How I Met Your Mother was 5. Although there was always the vague notion of the 6th character, which was the mother, but also the narrator. So I guess it was kind of a 6. Big Bang Theory, yeah, I think that also. So yeah, so we were watching that, and I was like, that seems to be roughly the kind of thing. So this is the show I would love to watch. Is 4 to 6 unlikely professionals who live in the big city, who brought together over tabletop wargaming. Now that would be a show, right? That's very kind of you, Colonel. If I was built like him, maybe, but I'm not. I'm doughy. I'm a barrel of a man. I'm a real man. Because I sit around all day painting miniatures. Shall I start writing this TV show? A sitcom based on that? And call it... Give me some sitcom titles for a tabletop wargaming show. And it initially feels like it's a show about tabletop wargaming, but it quickly becomes obvious that it's not a show about that. It's actually a show about love and the journeys that people go on. I didn't do a me time Monday, no, Colonel. I was very unwell on Monday. I couldn't face it. What I did is I tried to get up and I tried to go to work. And then I was having some real bad tummy trouble, so I ended up going back to bed. And I woke up at 6:30, and I was like, I have missed me time Monday completely. And I still felt crap, so I had to take some more. I had to take some more painkillers and go back to sleep. High Rollers Club, yeah, that's pretty good. 6 is up. Warhipster's Dungeon. That sounds like a different kind of show. A Tale of Many Warhipsters. Guys, I'm not in the show. I'm just the writer. I'm the Chuck Lorre of it. Lorre? We could base it on my life. It'd be very boring. It would be a main character who sits in his room all day. I'd have to go out and live more. Maybe that's what we would do. In order for me to write this show, I need to go out and experience it more. Some more real world experience. I can't just draw on my experiences of clubs. You are in the show. Oh no. Can I just be like a side character? Can I be the tragic one? The one that, like you said, runs the shop, and they all make fun of him. Like Warhammer's for cool people, as well, not just nerds like Josh. Hey, cute cut for laughs from the audience. Canned laughter. It's always great. I think it would play well with Middle America, to be honest. And that's the audience we're going for. You'd be the Bill Bailey in Hot Fuzz. Nobody tells me nothing. Fun fact, Hot Fuzz is filmed in the area of the world that I grew up and now live in. Come on, Bilbo, I need this job. Kids like the Phantom Menace. Tim? Horus Heresy, the 90s sitcom. Ugh. Sure, that would be more like, I don't know, Dexter or something. Yeah, so it's set in it's set in the fictional town of Sandford, Gloucestershire. I grew up in Gloucestershire. I still live in Gloucestershire. I live in Cheltenham. So when I was younger, I had a little bit more of that accent. I have it a little bit now, just a little bit. Occasionally, it comes out. The greater good. Policeman officer. A great big bushy beard. Yep. Crusty jugglers. Crusty jugglers. Yeah. Can you describe your perfect Sunday? Nobody tells me nothing. One of my favourite jokes in Hot Fuzz is the bit Nicholas Angel at the bit at the beginning, where he says, with courses completed in advanced driving and advanced cycling. And it's the way he does it's a little skid and then turns over the shoulder to look down the camera. That shot, it's just genius. I love it. And advanced cycling. It's perfect. It's a perfect comedy. I also very much enjoy you. When's your birthday? 22nd of February. What year? Every year. Get out. You. When's your birthday? Ah! Get out. Oh, that's awesome, Dave. Everyone and their mums is packing round here. Like who? Farmers. Farmers' mums. It's true. Where I grew up, it was very much like that in Saul. Saul and Frampton. Saul and Frampton on 7. I grew up in the village of Saul, but I went to school in Frampton on 7. Right on the River Severn. And that was a very, everyone was packing round there. Farmers. Farmers' mums. Error. It's the drawn out R. That's the thing. But I grew up around that, I did. Everyone was like that. In the village that I grew up in. Alright, mate. How's it going? The thing that I couldn't ever stand about it, right, was how no one when I was growing up was ever had a concept of time. If you were ever in a rush to get anywhere, dentist appointment, haircut, school, if somebody locked onto you for a conversation, didn't matter. That was it. You were done. Next 20, 30 minutes. They would tell you everything, even if you'd heard it all yesterday before as well. It's just a village where time stood still. Is where I grew up. It's also a village where people basically went to die because everyone there was very old. There were barely any kids in this area. It's why there used to be 3 primary schools in and around the area. There's one in Arlingham, one in Saul, and one in Frampton, and they closed the other 2 and pulled them all into one school because there just wasn't enough kids around there. No luck catching them swans then. It's just the one swan, actually. Yeah, watching that was a little bit too real. It's the same as, what was it called? This Country? Did you ever watch This Country? Is it called This Country? Yeah, This Country. This Country is very similar. Like, just very, 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 very similar. A little bit too much. It's a little bit too real. But also just like the Detectorists as well. Again, very similar, but there's a lot of it was just like very, very, very familiar. If you ever watched those shows. Are you from the Hot Fuzz Village? No, I'm not from there. I'm from Seoul. That's where I grew up. It was filmed in. It was actually filmed in a place called Wells in Somerset. But I can show you. I can show you where I grew up, and then we simply must go. So, this is where I grew up. So I currently live here in Cheltenham. You see, just up there. Specifically, I live around this area in Cheltenham. And that's as close as you're getting. Even if you go back on one of my previous streams, you can see my exact address. I grew up right here in Saul. And I can tell you exactly where I grew up. I grew up in this house right there. That was the house I grew up in. I can show you what it looks like. Can you still do the... Yes, you can. Drop a little man. Let's go here. So this is... So, when I was a young warthog, this over here, this used to be a school. It's now somebody's house, and it looks awful. So this used to be a school, just terrapin buildings, little temporary structures. This whole area. So this was our little green area. But this was the school that I went to, ages 6 to 10. And this is it. This is my village that I grew up in. This is Saul. It's weird seeing it. This is where, yeah. So I used to come along here. Oh, the village hall's got a sign now. So the village hall's down here. Oh no, you can't get down there. So I lived down here. This is the road I used to live on. And you should see, you see this little gap here? That little alleyway, that goes down to my house, which is back here. So we can go all the way around. You can see where it is. I don't know if you can see all the way in. Oh, they've changed that as well. So I used to live in a house that's just behind these trees. That's where I used to live. Back there. Long time ago. Looks a bit barren now. It's a bit sad. That was it. And I can show you, I can see if I can see if the new school that we were in. This is it? Where are we? Lake Lane. Yeah. Oh wow, the weather really turned. So then in year 5 and 6, well year 6 for me, that was the new school, right there, in a place called Frampton. But Frampton, very much, is very much like the Hot Fuzz place. So you know what Frampton's famous for? It's for having the longest village green in the country. It is a mile of village green. This is the cricket pitch. This is where Frampton cricket team played. Played on that field a couple of times. Yes, they do, Colonel. They absolutely do. They absolutely do. I do a very good impression of it. All of my bus drivers talk like that. So all you have to do, right, is you have to close one side of your mouth, right? So, like, make contact with your teeth on one side of your mouth, whichever one you feel comfortable with, right? And you've got to extend all of your R's. So you've got to pronounce the whole thing with the R. And then you add some gravel like that. It becomes very easy in order to talk like that, because you never understand the bloody thing about it said. That's how you do it. So all of my bus drivers are like that, but... Ugh. Come on, we got 20 minutes to get to school. There's obviously a lot more swearing involved. Yeah, so words to practice if you want to do a decent Gloucester accent is the words beard and weird. You obviously don't say it that way. You pronounce the R, so it becomes beard. Weird. Like I said, if you just close up one side of your mouth and end up talking out the other one, it'll pretty much come to you naturally anyway. But then you start doing the R's as well, and every R that you do, so start, weird, all that right, so anything, and then you just add a bit of gravel like that, and you end up becoming like you're more in the glasses here. Have you got a license for that one? For this one? For this one? He says for this one. For this one? Can you do a northerner accent? Oh, see, now, because I spent a long time in Leeds. I don't know if you have ever noticed this, but occasionally words will come out from me that come out with a slight Yorkshire twang. There's various different accents in the north of the UK. Yorkshire is the one I'm best at because it's the one I spent time with. However, it's been a long time since I've done it. Any suggestions on how to paint 30 fire warriors and not getting bored? Yes, do them in blocks of 5, Michael. And then once you get through 15 of them, give yourself a break and do something else. Treat yourself with a commander or a crisis team or something like that. But only do them in blocks of 5. Don't have 30 in front of you because you'll get so tired of doing the same color over 30. Do them of 5. And then once you've done it in bite-sized chunks, you'll be good to go. You went to uni in Cheltenham. That's awesome, Tani. Cheltenham's a funny place. I still can't do a proper northern accent. Again, it depends which one you're going for. Because there's a number of different ones. The easiest thing to do is to learn how to do a Birmingham accent and then move your way up north. And the best way to learn a Birmingham accent is to play Fable. Because a lot of the people in Fable have a Midlands accent. Especially when they insult you for being evil. It's like the one that goes, "You look like the inside of a nose." That's fully Birmingham. It's more black country. But you look like the inside of a nose. I always love that in Fable. The trick with once you know how to do a sort of northern pitter patter a little bit, the trick with it is, like when people say like a Yorkshire accent, when people always make fun of it and they always replace the with t. That's one thing people always do. It's actually not accurate. The secret to a good Yorkshire accent, if you're going to do an impression of it, is to be able to say the without actually articulating the. So rather than, or as is often joked about, the t. So people will say things like tut lion, tut witch, and tut wardrobe. That's what they'll say. That's not true. You get rid of the t. It's lion, witch, at wardrobe. That's the thing. But it's terrible. If I spend too much time around folks from Yorkshire, I end up slipping right back into my sort of weird hybrid of Gloucestershire, neutral Middle England, and Yorkshire. That's like what I mean. I'm from the Midlands and lived in Scotland and North Wales as a kid. For a long while, when I got angry, I'd naturally go towards a Welsh accent. Drunk, I'd go Scottish. Really? I just thought that would go the other way around. Welsh always feels easier when you're drunk. Nice boots, those shoes. That's the one that always makes Alice laugh. She's learning Welsh at the moment, actually, on Duolingo. She's probably doing her Duolingo right now. Is it bad or good that I'm an American and know what stand-up comedy bit you're referencing with the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe? Nope, that's not bad at all. It's a good thing. Anyway. We've had fun discussing accents, but I really ought to go because it is 11 o'clock and I've got stuff to do. So thank you very much for hanging out with me, guys. We have got to 115 likes on the stream. That is wonderful. You guys are amazing. 26 new members and £22 from you guys is awesome. Towards the camera fund, we're over the 900 mark. I will say thank you very much to Dahi, Thanagor, Big Bad Peter Gaming, Mini Painting Dad, Big Bad Peter Gaming, Cameron, and Captain Manrings as well. That's very, 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 very generous of you. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. It's time to end, so I will see you all very soon for a painting video tomorrow. Sakar, the Fang of New Lamia. So make sure you've got that in your calendars. 7:30 p.m. GMT. Everyone go watch it. Everyone leave a like on it. Everyone leave a comment on it. That would be very generous of you. Thank you very much. I will see you all very soon in the next one. Thank you very much for hanging out with me. Here is the wave of goodbye. I love you. Happy Valentine's Day. You are the best audience ever. Love you. See you in a bit. Bye for now. Crap, it's 11 already. Yeah, exactly. Exactly the peak. Exactly. Time to eat.